Everyone, just a small little win room while we wait for the November schedule. It should be in 2 or 3 hours. I actually don't know. Because it's usually 7 p.m. PST, at least for me. But PST just went through daylight savings a couple weeks ago, so it's somewhere between 2 and 3 hours from now. I want to say it's 2 hours, but I actually don't know. They did release 2 things already, which kind of solidifies, I think, my speculation for next month, just because like I had Princess released on what is this? On the 2nd, and it's releasing tomorrow. So I'm under the assumption that we're keeping the current acceleration we already had. And then there's also the transfer request tomorrow, which I did say was going to come out the first week. But I think I had... Actually, no, I had this on the 1st. So it's nice to get confirmation. I guess I can switch this over now. It's nice to get confirmation that it's actually on the 1st, just so I don't feel like an idiot. Let me switch that over. I need to finish this list. Though I have everything up for like the next month as well, so it should be fine. Then I guess I can swap Princess over now, since we know this is tomorrow. So I'm assuming that Dober is gonna release sometime this month. I think that's where it's going to end on the Dober release. Whoops. Yeah, we'll probably do some practice rooms. I don't want to do too much practice rooms, just because there hasn't, like, it's kind of just a no stopping me roulette. Like, I think realistically anyone has a chance of winning the next CM. I mean, as long as you know, have enough stam and like speed. If you can just hit a no stopping me early. It's only like when it doesn't hit, like when somebody somehow doesn't hit one, or the person who hit it like doesn't have enough stam, that like sure there's other things that can win, but it's almost assuredly who hits no stopping me. There was the interesting strategy of, you know, runaway Suzu and a frontrunner Daiwa Scarlet, which the reason why I'm not talking too much about it is because I think like the stat goals for it to be consistent is just extremely high. It's hard to say it's like an actual strategy outside of like being a whale, essentially. Like, I mean, I got like what, 6 length by somebody from it. Let's see if I have it still. Yeah, by Jocko. Like I don't think this Daiwa is realistically that replicatable. But because like anything that you like lower, like you lower speed, you lower power, you lower wit, just makes it a lot less strong. Like, this is a max speed turf S long S 900 power 900 wit. Like this one, I can't imagine losing unless they miss the swinging maestro proc. But I just don't think it's like I just don't think it's at a weaker level. Like, let's say you have 700 power 700 wit, and like I don't know, maybe you have max speed. Like, I don't think it's as strong as something like this. So it's like hard for me to claim that it's a real strategy, because like 1000 speed or like 1100 speed, 700 power, 700 wit isn't that strong, right? Like, I think you need to aim higher than that. Just because like 900, like he gets another, is it 5%, right, for having 900 power, 900 wit. He has Turf S, which changes this to like 1000 power. He has max speed because he has right-handed. Actually, and like, I just think it's just unrealistic to aim for this. I mean, if your deck can, you know, aim for this, then go for it. But I just think I'm not going to like try to tout it, just because I think like unless you can hit stats close to this, I don't think it's as strong. But it does capitalize on the fact that a lot of people probably won't be bringing frontrunners. Daiwa's whole thing is that if she's trying to overtake somebody, you can delay Resplendent Red Ace in second place, which is what like the Suzu is for. The Suzu essentially dies at the late race, so you get a really close to you get a really close late race Resplendent Red Ace. Actually, let me just show it in a practice room. But like, I just think like a weaker Daiwa doesn't do what you will see here. Because this is like, this essentially just feels like a whale strategy. Yeah, let me load this. Like, you'll see, well, I mean, if the recovery skill goes off and everything else goes off, this is like a really close to, like, it's, yeah, you do need a Suzu for this. It has to be like a 2 Uma comp. But like, I don't know. I just think like a weaker Suzu, I mean, I think a weaker Suzu can still work. It's just like the reason why this feels like such a big lead is because they have long S, max or 1190 speed, and all the track bonuses from both power and wit. Yeah, you definitely need cards for this. This is like a completely whale strategy. I don't think you can do this with a weaker deck, just because there's just too many stats that you need to hit. But like actually let me 2x speed this. When we do practice rooms today, I'm gonna 2x speed because this track is just too long to watch the whole thing. Like there's a big gap because there's a runaway, and like the number 2 is a pace chaser. It's just hit like the taking the lead and groundworks procs puts you like that far ahead. And like we passed the point for Resplendent Red Ace. This is a little bit early, but it's still a really good Resplendent Red Ace, right? And it's like it's going to maintain this big lead simply because Resplendent Red Ace is also an acceleration skill. This only works realistically with a Daiwa frontrunner because Resplendent Red Ace is an acceleration skill. But like, this is just too big of a gap to catch up, right? I don't... It's just like, if your Daiwa is weaker than this, like, the gap just isn't that long. Right, like, it's a 5-length lead. And that's like mainly just from taking the lead groundworks. Because a Suzu pulls the group so far ahead that having the two skills here pushes you so far ahead. Test with the second front, yeah, that's it. That's the one thing. Like, there's like 3 things that beat this, right? Like an S-Maru should just beat this because if Daiwa is not second place, it just loses. Saiyan Sky also, I mean, I think Saiyan Sky will have a hard time. It just depends, like, because like just getting this much wit is kind of hard, and because of the first hill, like, you would basically need to have the stat line on another frontrunner to stop the Daiwa. What was the deck? Yeah, I mean, this is like a completely whale strategy, and this is like under the assumption that no one's gonna bring a Summer Marzensky to fight for second place, because you have to be second place on Daiwa. Even like a second Suzu sometimes messes it up. But a lot of the time, unless like, actually, a second Suzu doesn't really mess it up because Daiwa will pass it. The main thing that messes this up is another front runner. Yeah, I don't really, like, I think this strat's gonna get popularized. but like I think it works, right? You're under the assumption that no one's bringing front runners, and like you can use that second place. Because, like, a second Suzu does die. Like, eventually they'll just die, and Daiwa won't get, like, the perfect Resplendent Red Ace, or at least, like, a speed carryover plus Excel. But usually, like, Suzus will just die at the late race, just because low everything, essentially. But I feel like there is going to be people who try to bring front runners. I don't know, it's hard because it's, like, it completely relies on all your rooms not having front runners. Because, like, the weaker your Daiwa, like, the weaker it is against the second front runner. Yeah, it's a Kitasen, essentially. It's just like a complete... I mean, I'm not... Like, I just wanted to show it because I think it's going to get popularized in a couple of days. It's just, I don't think, like, I don't know, you're just under the assumption that no one's bringing a front runner, which could be true, right? Like, there wasn't even that many fronts on a mile track. Like, maybe Global just won't bring fronts at all. Because I do think, like, fronts have been demonized as, like, impossible to build. What's up, Jakalaka? I was just showing off your Daiwa. And it's also like keep in mind his Daiwa like has like 20% more speed because like his stats are so much higher. Like like it's almost max speed, 900 plus wit and power. And then like that's where the that's like probably like 2-3 lengths, and then obviously taking the lead, Groundworks is doing a lot of heavy lifting as well. I don't know, you just have to be under the assumption that no one's bringing a front runner. Or at least that your Daiwa will beat out the other front runner. I don't know. I refuse to build a front runner, so I'll never do that strategy. I also don't own Suzu. Well, I'd say I'd never do a front runner, but my Rice Shower is essentially a front runner. Wouldn't a Seiyun be better with a rabbit? I mean, it can work, right? I'm a fake front hater. This one died because I just didn't get enough stats and I lost corner recovery. I also don't have long S. Or sorry, I lost swinging Maestro. I don't mind building fronts. I don't think fronts are that hard to build. Or that annoying to build. I just don't like the strategy in general. I think a lot of fronts, yeah. The timing for angling, it's the 200 meters. Like, you would need a lot of power, I think, to make up for it. Or at least to not lose as much ground. Right? Because you do lose a little bit from... I think Saiyan Sky also works. Maybe. Alright, because I don't... How do you spell Seiyun? Am I stupid? Front runner. Alright, it's just like a little delayed. I think... I don't know if it's better, but it definitely can work. Right, because you lose out on, like, basically... You need to still accelerate in these 100 meters. When a Daiwa gets to use the acceleration, like, earlier than this. Because you only realistically use, like, 100 meters of angling. Which is, like, 40% of it. Whereas a... Okay, switch this to Daiwa. $100... runner. Usually it activates at like what, the like 1900 meter mark, would you say? right? Like, just being able to hit your acceleration earlier, I mean, even if this activates way earlier, like the 1800 meter mark, like, it's still enough acceleration because it's earlier. Like the 100 meters that angling gets delayed is pretty significant. I think 1800 might be a little too weak. It had to be, like, a lot closer, like 1850-ish. But, like, it's just, I think angling is just a little too, like, 100 meters is a lot of distance that you are not accelerating, that you can get over, not overtaken, but just caught up from like a no stop, a spurt into no stopping me. Like, that's why Catapult Kitasen works so well, is because Catapult Kitasen is instant. Like, instant excel is always better than a delayed excel. Rabbit feels bad when you buff the enemy. But yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, I don't... Because it's like, you're entirely dependent on... Like, your Daiwa is dead in the water if she doesn't hit a Resplendent Red Ice. So you definitely, like, buff up the Pace Chasers and the other frontrunners. So it's kind of... Like, you have to be confident that your frontrunner will win. Are all my aces done? No, I don't like my paces. Pace Chaser is not performing. It depends on, like, how many Pace Chasers are in the room. No, I have been trying to do a Super Creek, because I got really mad during my Rice Shower runs that... I got really mad during my Rice Shower runs to keep losing swinging Maestro. So I've been trying to do, like, a Speed Wit Max Super Creek that doesn't have... that, like, is trying to hit no stopping me off the pace promoted Pace Chaser. Any non-end feels like a no stopping me enabler. I think running 3-end isn't that good though. I do think, like, a pace promotion can win even without no stopping me, but that's, like, entirely dependent, obviously, off of no stopping me's hit. Is my late Brian done? Yeah, I'm settling on the one that just got second. This one. I think it could be better, right? I just think late surgers are in a really bad spot. I think they're just in a really bad spot for the CM. I think this is the one I'm gonna settle on. Like, she wins maybe, like, I don't know, 5 to 8% of the time. Yeah, she's, like, she does not feel strong. But yeah, I want to finish the Space Chaser and then move on. Sorry. Oh well. Nothing you can really do. I think no stopping me just... I don't know, it just feels like the farther back you are, the easier it is to hit no stopping me. Throwing a late Ryan in the CM cope. I mean, if you somehow don't get overtaken by a gold ship, and, like, you don't lose your 6th place, you would need a lot of power, I think, to compensate the... Like, I think the issue is just how much power you need to compensate the 100 meters that you are losing. Right? Because you had to maintain 6th place for 100 meters. I think it's kind of hard to do that. But it can win in rooms that an end closer doesn't hit no stopping me, I guess. Alright, well, we can do some practice races. I'm gonna be throwing in. I actually don't really have a. I still don't have a third. That was my CM5. Yeah, so I'm just gonna randomly throw in the Super Creek. It lives. It's just no long S, and like it should have max speed, max wit. And like I think I can hit. I don't even think I hit like that. I think I caught the white skill. I think I hit 7 explosions in this run, but I'm gonna be throwing this one in. I would like 850 power, and long S obviously. I'll just be throwing that in since I'm still working on it, and then the gold chip and the Brian. I might revisit and fix my gold chip and like go for a 1200 power gold chip. I don't know. What am I doing? Okay, I need to do signups. Let me start with that. Actually, let me real quick. Okay, I'm gonna put up the signups right now. New race, and then I will pull people. I'll pull people if you enter them through here. We won't do too many races, just because I really think that like the game essentially picks out a winner to hit no stopping me, is what it feels like. Yeah, go ahead and enter through there, and then I will, if you have a team ready. I think a lot of people, it seems like some people are still building their aces. I mean, I'm still building my aces. Just yell ideas for comps. Yeah, I also just want to see like if anyone's cooked up something interesting, because every time you do like random practice room or like the random practice rooms, it's just all people testing out their gold chips. CM6. I need to delete my old CM stuff. You want to retrain their pace. Yeah, I feel like I've been putting a lot of effort in my pace, and like, I don't even know if they're gonna win anything. Long S feels mandatory. It definitely helps. You can still lose to a long A instant no stopping me proc, but long S and like max speed definitely helps on a long track. Waiting for the cafe drop. I wonder if anyone's gonna run gold chip double debuffer in this. That would be funny. It definitely feels like a stat check into who hits no stopping me. I think longs are going to be like this until the third scenario, when everyone can actually hit the stats. Whoops. Alright. Alright. Is that all the rooms? Yep. It's been a while since I did this. Alright. I'm gonna delete the signups. And let's go ahead and pull 10 people. If 10 people even. No, probably not the Arima Keenan. I think the Arima Keenan, like, a 2500 meter isn't that painful to build for. It's, if you're doing, like, full race bonus, it's 70%. Because 66, I think, is another breakpoint. Just like how... Or is it 67% is a breakpoint? Just like how 34% is a breakpoint. Yeah. It's the only long... I guess, yeah, it is the only long, right? We have a medium. What do we have? We have a medium into the Rimakin into a sprint to a dirt mile. Yeah, Pisces Cup is going to be our first. Oh, we're going back to the 3200. A pseudo long. We have a 2000. I mean, yeah, we have the Arima Keenan and then a 2000 meter. Those are the coming up next. Oh, my bot's not online? What? Okay. Sorry about that. Apparently forgot to run it. Should be online now. Right. Let me check. Let me double check. Okay, yeah, there we go. Alright, if your name is here, I'm gonna add you the room codes. Go ahead and enter one of them with a team of 3. And we will spend a lot of time reviewing builds, not really watching the race. I'm gonna have the race on 2x, but I'm gonna spend more time looking at everyone's builds just so everyone can get like. And then we'll look at like the top 3 after the race. Oh, let me take down Marzensky. Alright, we have one room already filled out. Wow. Let's see. What do we have in here? Late front debuffer's late surger is interesting. We have a runaway with a super creek. Alright, let's look. So this is the special. This is your special week. S plus. You've got. I mean, there's just no stopping me, right? Is that fast learner deck? No, it's a whale deck. 15, 20, wait, 15, 25, 35, 45, 50. This is a 60% race bonus? That's crazy. Are you actually running double debuffers, or you just don't have the other stuff made? We have this. Oh, here's a super crit. Yeah, this is like essentially what I'm trying to hit with my super creek. Actually, we have pretty similar. We have pretty similar decks, right? I'm doing 2 speed, 3 wit, Rico. This is 3 wit, 2 speed, Tazuna instead of Rico. Gold ship. And then Heisuzu, Runaway. To pace up the room and get your super creek to hit no stopping me. Race bonus has always been pretty broken. I mean, an additional, what is it, 30% race bonus is like another 2 skills. You're running solo ace? Ah, that's an interesting room then. You also have to keep in mind a lot of like room matches. Oh, let me 2x's. A lot of room matches are going to be a very different meta than the actual CM, because like it's pretty unlikely that you'll face these. Can't use. Yeah, I can't use King Halo speed anymore. There's just too many skills to buy now that we're in Unity. Like, you really need those skill points. Yeah, Runaway makes these 2 frontrunner debuffers not perform that well, since the pace chasers can move in front of them. Yeah, I might have a 2x day 1, because I think a lot of people are struggling to hit stats. Oh, might hit a. That was a really good no stopping me from that super creek. I think my gold chip failed the wit check on it. I think my gold chip failed the wit check on no stopping me. That's unfortunate. It should just be this, It should just be the Super Creek win, because that was a really good no stopping me. Unlucky. I don't know, my gold chip might have been able to catch up. Is it mine in second? If I hit no stopping me there? How much of a length lead was it? 7 lengths? Maybe no stopping me wouldn't have caught up. Yeah, that was a really good no stopping me hit. Probably just because the Suzu has such low power that you can get it really close to the start of the late race. But yeah, this gold chip just failed her wit check, which is unfortunate. Like, I mean, obviously with 1051 wit, you should hit no stopping me a lot more consistently than like a 400 wit gold chip. Yeah, what if we just hold hands and no stopping me together? Alright, let me put up the code block. Let me block the next code. Well, I think Suzu just, or Runaways in general, just changes the game a lot. And it feels bad not having it, because I don't own Suzu. And it feels awkward not being able to do something with the rabbit strat. That's why I want to make the non-lucky, because I think a lucky pace kills the idea of winning in a runaway lobby. And everyone has Suzu here. But it could also just be a room match meta that I'm prepping for that has no reason. Lie in wait? I see. Maverick is funny on a late surger. Calm and collected pace. Will there be 2 people that you can pass? I guess, if there's enough. The Groundworks Rice Shower. Yeah, I've been struggling with Groundworks Rice Shower. Oh, she has Calm and Collected, I see. I was like, where'd you get that? And then Runaway Suzu. Double N closer. Gold Ship. Top Gun. And then an Ogre. Yeah, I think my gold chip can like win regular lobbies, so I'm not too worried. Like, I think I'd rather spend my pace chaser slot on the off chance that someone just, because like the issue is that like even if the Suzu isn't even built correctly, like it augments the like fields way too much that it feels really awkward when you don't have something prepped for it. Why are all my chatters whales? I don't know. I've seen some egregious stat line. I mean, you can't really say that when you are also a whale. Like, it feels so awkward when you're not prepped for it. And like, you're just stuck in the backpack over there. Yeah, this right shower. Actually, the right shower wasn't even in first, even with Groundworks. Which is interesting. Alright, can I steal your rabbit for my for my Super Creek? Oh, I've got to 2x this. But the Suzuka does kind of unlock. I mean, you can still be way too close to the Suzu, but most of the time, yeah, like you don't get screwed by it. What happened to my gold chip? Oh. Wait! I hit the Rushing Gale gamble? Wait, I think I just hit an instant Rushing Gale. That's literally the only way my Brian ever wins. Is if she Rushing Gales on that straight. Wait, you just got scammed? I think the jobber luck. Yeah, that's also another thing you have to be careful of. A lot of people will have Rushing Gale because it comes with your Rico, right? Like, it comes with your Rico, and hitting this on the late race straight is so much acceleration. I don't think I've ever won on this Brian without it. And I'd say, like, she hits it, like, 10% of the time. Actually, probably less than 10% of the time. It's like sub 10%. It's a really bad gamble. But I don't think my Brian could win any room match without it. Yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen to you. Because, like, I think any jobber can run Rushing Gale on their ace. You saw it worked once, it looks consistent enough. But yeah, you do... I mean, it was a Rushing Gale into a no stopping me on 400 wit. Like, that's just essentially a stronger... That's just encroaching shadow into no stopping me. It definitely will happen to you. In 80 races, there's a chance. But this is like a jobber build, Brian. Spread the Rushing Gale propaganda. I definitely don't think it's worth the skill points. It's because I was running Aishin Flash, and she has straight away acceleration, right, in her hint pool. Wait, let me make sure I'm not spreading this information. Flash. Right, she has straight away excel, and I got 5 hints on it. Like, I hit it twice, and it was like 200 skill points, and it's a funny gamble. It comes with... Oh, I don't own Fine Motion. Oh! Also, doesn't Fine Motion only give you 1 hint on it? Like, Fine Motion doesn't have a hint bonus, right? Flash gives 3, so I hit it twice, and I had a 5 hints on straightaway excel. And it's like... And I also got the 3 hints off of Rushing Gale from the finished chain. So I was like... I mean, for like 220 skill points, I might as well buy it to gamble. But yeah, you probably should have won this room. If it wasn't for the jobber Rushing Gale. It's definitely funny. I don't think I'm gonna get it on my... I think I need too many skills on my... my Super Creek. But... That Brian gets so much skill points. I think I was also just running a somewhat high race bonus deck, because I had to run Super Creek. And then Brian just gets you so many skill points from doing the hard mode, because I think it's like 200 extra skill points. Or it's like a base... Yeah, it's like around 200, especially with a high race bonus deck, which is why like the list is a little longer. What is it? 10, 20... 25, 30, 35. Is this 40? No, 45% race bonus. Now what do we have in here? Another gold chip. I mean... Looks like a gold chip. Creek for recovery. Yeah, Creek is just for... Because her recovery is like an 8... When it's level 4, it's an increase of... Is it 6%? So it's actually like around an 8% heal. So you can like do that swinging, buy one more if you need it, because you have so much wit that you're just you should be proccing your skills. This Creek, I don't think it will ever win a room. No long S, like, it's not strong enough. I still need to make that better. It's just because I gave up on Rice Shower. I don't think my deck is good enough for Rice Shower. Highlander Gamble, Straightaway Spurt. McQueen. Swinging, Common Collected. I have a Tachyon. Tachyon's a little weirder because you have to be 3rd or 4th, right, for it? Alright, so someone's gonna get promoted here. Finally a room without a Suzu. Taishin, and then another gold chip.
4番人気は
Also, with her higher wit, you can. Oh, I think my Creek is dead. Well, I think my Super Creek is gonna die here. So I'm definitely not in the position to live off of just swinging Maestro. Have we seen a lot of Taishins? Is she good? Depends on how much mid race you can get on her to unblock her. I think she still has the problem of encroaching shadow into the back of somebody, but because it's a hill for encroaching shadow, you have a lot of time to try to get unblocked. Why is Windy a good SR speed? Because that's 10% race bonus. Skills are like what determines who wins. At a certain point, like if they're able to hit the stats, how many skill points you get is all that matters. And it's like, Sweep Tosho, like sure, she might be a little bit better at training speed, but if you have other cards, like you'd rather just run a 10% race bonus card. Oh, I forgot to 2x this again. Yeah, my Super Greek is just dead. 1000 on a Pace Chaser with just swinging Maestro. The pack of gold chips. Mine hit no stopping me. Oh, did mine die? Or did it? Oh no, I just failed the win check on straightaway spurt. Oh, no way. Wait, do I lose this? Okay, no, I don't. Is Pace Halloween Creek any good? Or Rice? It gives you Common Collected, right? She has Common Collected in her kit. I mean, anything with a recovery skill in their kit is a lot easier to build. Good? It's a little hard to say. Yeah, my Creek's just dead in the water. Like, not being able to hit pure heart, like, she just dies. I think my Brian also died. Yeah, I just missed the wit check on straightaway spirit. I thought she died because you have to be able to run the entire late race, or you had to have enough stamina for the entire late race to proc straightaway spirit. So I thought I just died. But I mean, it's literally who hits no stopping me, like in the battle of gold chips, and mine decided to hit no stopping me because she caught up to the pace chasers, I think. If I saw that correctly. Oh! I missed the button to block the code. But what are our wins so far? We have a Rushing Gale, Proc win, a gold chip, and I forgot who won the third one. Alright, here is the Daiwa that I showed earlier this stream, with the... I forgot my tag. Alright. I'll put it up. Yeah, here's the Daiwa that I was talking about, the Daiwa with the Suzu catapults. And then the special week in case... the special week in case your catapult doesn't work. There is no front runners in this. Brian... Lucky 7 sympathy. Brian does get so much SP that, yeah. Race Planner Gourmand, you ran... I don't know if you need 3 golds. I guess it's like in case one of them doesn't give it to you. I don't know, very interesting supporter card deck. This one has triple golds. And... that's a lot of recovery. Okay. And Gold Ship doesn't have long S. It doesn't matter, I think we lose to this Daiwa, unless she explodes and forgets her recovery skill. Or I hit another Russian Gale proc. We're just gonna 2x. Let me actually remember to 2x this one this time. I have Russian Gale on one of my Umas, because I don't think my Brian can win without it. I think late surges are just in such a bad spot that, like, I think the only way she wins is with the Russian Gale proc. Yeah, there's like, what, a 5-length lead already on the Face Chasers. I think, just barely got... yeah, it's barely in range. We're about to enter the late race, so Suzu should start dying out because her acceleration sucks. Right, and then there's a Resplendent Red Ace essentially at the late race. Like, she's already accelerating, and no one even has had the opportunity to hit No Stopping Me. As your other one hits No Stopping Me. Oh wow, it lost. Crazy. I am glue. Bot 3. I mean, like... it can still lose to a good No Stopping Me proc, right? But it's also like... is this the average Face Chaser you're facing against? I guess you don't have long S. Yeah, I don't think it's like an infallible strategy, it's just a lot harder to beat. I mean, you can, what do you mean? You just run this deck. Just run this deck, and you'll be fine. Okay. Let me reopen it. Unlucky. Alright, we got one last room. There's a lot more whale. I guess the people who are like done with their builds are generally just whales. Well, besides gold chips. I mean, looks pretty similar to all the other gold chips. Fast learner, Top Gun, it looks like. Or how many races did she do? 13. McQueen. Another gold chip. Double S. Double S are banking off of the 77% chance to hit swinging to live. We do have a Groundworks. Groundworks McQueen, but without Saiyan Sky ult? You bought Beeline Burst? I'm a little confused about that. And then a front Haru.
晴れ渡るスタート。各馬娘綺麗なスタートを切りました。誰が先頭に抜け出すか注目しましょう。先行争いは9番メジロマックイーン。
Your Daiwa did miss swinging.
スーパークリーク期待通りの結果を
It was
出せる
enough
か。
of a lead.
1番人気マヤのトップガン。長丁場のこのレースですがスーパークリーク早くも先頭に躍り出た。3番メジロマックイーン内から行く。2馬身3馬身開いて
What is my gold ship doing?
マヤのトップガン追走。
Did I like fail Umasan or something?
ゴールドシップ。そしてその外9番メジロマックイーン。
Okay. Well, here's the strategy, right? Where I try not to hit pace promotion on my Super Creek and be able to hit my ult. Right. Can I hit a no stopping me proc? Is the real question. Ooh, it might have been too early of a rushing gale. Yeah, that was way too early. And that was like right at the start. Ah, I missed no stopping me. I lost the roulette. I guess my Brian hit it. But end closer top speed's too much. Is rushing gale even worth it? No. Well, you enabled the other gold chip. It isn't. It's like straightaway spurt, but it only works like 5% to 5 to 10% of the time. It is not worth the SP investment. Yeah, I mean, this is just like a late surger hitting no stopping me against against an end closer that hit no stopping me. Like it's just really hard to keep up, just because of the late race end speed. Because like everyone hits top speed. Actually, mine probably doesn't even hit top speed because I only have 900 power. But these two just hit top speed faster than me. And have a higher top speed. But the CM would look like 3 changes to no stopping me. I mean, it'd just be the same thing still. I think no stopping me just... all it does is let weaker... like, it's less stat sticky and more a roulette for no stopping me. Right, but like it's still... like all no stopping me does is just turn the race into a roulette. Like, it doesn't change much. I think it's just... like, I think the meta of it, quote-unquote, is still pretty much the same. Alright, that was our 5 rooms there. Hopefully... does it come out in an hour? Hopefully it comes out in an hour. Let me pull up their Twitter, just so I have it on the ready. Alright, let me... I guess I don't have to reset up the rooms, so... well... let's remove True. It doesn't even feel like no stopping me makes it so cold ship sometimes loses. It's just I feel like it just enables a cold ship to win, right? Because an end closer hitting their top speed faster will just be stronger than, I guess, yeah, if all the end closers miss no stopping me, then it allows somebody else to take the victory. I don't know. I've not been. I mean, I think longs when everyone is struggling to hit the stat goals, just there isn't that fun of a meta. At least in terms of like actually doing the CM. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and put up the signups here. You can go ahead and enter in through here. I'll pull 10 people out of it in like 10-ish minutes. I don't know why I said 10-ish people. I will pull 10 people in a couple of minutes. It truly is just a no stalking me roulette, right? I mean, I think there's like some inconsistencies, like you can try to play off the pace promotions, you can do separate builds, but at the end of the day, it all boils down to hit no stopping me, have enough speed and stam, and hit no stopping me. Better than Taiki matches, I guess since everyone has access to gold chip. But I think it just moves from like everyone having access to gold chip to everyone having the cards to be able to build it, right? Yeah, I think like until like scenario power creep, like the majority of CM rooms are just going to be people who, or not CM rooms, but like CM matches, going to be people who can't hit as close to the goal as possible. What do you think about Daiwa pace with angling? I think it's really hard on Pace Chaser to be second place. Though I guess it can work if... Because like the issue with Daiwa is that if you activate Resplendent Red Ace at the 50% mark, it doesn't do much. And then like angling isn't enough. You want to delay it as much as possible, and I don't know how you would do that on a Pace Chaser. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and pull 10 people. We have sign. Oh, actually, let me take down the signups. Delete. And then once it pulls out 10 people, I will add them with the room codes. Yeah, I think it's just like the Daiwa Rocket isn't even that, like, is almost never that consistent. And I think putting her in pace just makes the consistency like really bad, because it's really hard to have it proc closer to the late race. Because like you want to, like the ideal timing is, not ideal timing, but like the minimum timing is at the 1900 meter mark. So like 100 meters before the late race is like where you would want to proc it. Obviously, you know, like 1 meter before the late race is the best, or like 50 meters before the late race is the best possible timing. But 100 meters is like, that has to proc there or later for it to effectively be able to win. Alright, sorry, let me give the people who got picked their room codes. I think I like Max Creek a little bit more. Especially since, like, I'm going to have lower power, so there's a high chance I don't hit Lucky Pace. I just need to actually hit the run. Which, I mean, like, I feel like I'm pretty close to hitting the run for it. And, like, my whole goal is to no stopping me off of the Lucky Pace. So I think I like this more than the Groundworks Rice Shower that I'm building. Suzuka Daiwa sets only for whales. I would say, I am inclined to say yes, because I think Unless you're able to hit max speed. Like, I think the bare minimum for her is able to hit max speed and like 800 on speed and power. Or sorry, power and wit. Like, if you're... I think it's really hard to hit that when her growth rate is in guts. It's really hard for me to say that it's doable outside of a whale, like, being able to run it. You also need to own Suzu. Like, it has to be done with Suzu. So you have to own Suzu, and you have to also own a strong enough deck to enable her. Is 890 stam enough? Die with Scarlet on pace. A lot of pace chasers here. Sorry, what was your... Okay.
7番成田ブライ。晴れ渡る。
It's very borderline. Special week is in front. I didn't check the rest of her recovery skills. What's her skill called? Diver? Don't you? You have to be not first, right? Oh, I forgot 2x's. Do you have enough recovery skills? Yeah, like, second through fourth, or 7th through 2nd is kind of a big window, but obviously if you're pace promoted. Well, it enabled my pure heart, so thank you. Now, all I have to do is hit, no stopping me off your back. Can I do that? Can I do that, or am I gonna get hit by no stopping me? Straight away spurts. Oh. Oh no. My gold chip didn't hit no stopping me. Did I fail the wit check again? And I couldn't catch up to the special week because they had too much power, I think. I don't know if I can do it off the lucky pace without enough power. I'm actually surprised you're the one if you're consistently pace promoting with only 879 power. With Top Gun build? I'm pretty sure it's just spurt into no stopping me. Actually, that's a lot of wit. I mean, it's just they hit no stopping me. What is it on? End closer? But it's like, I really, like, my gold chip loses there because she failed no stopping me. It's just hit no stopping me. You can win the CM if you hit no stopping me. Or if you're whaley enough to run a rabbit catapult. If your deck is good enough, you could try to do like Suzu pace, Suzu front, catapult strategy. Alright, what do we have here? Another Daiwa. Guts Daiwa on pace. What a deck. Oh shoot. I'm trying to look at your... What are you putting your Brian on? Also late? Iron. No stopping me. Divine Might. You got Uma stand through King Halo. That's kind of funny. Wow, your sideline's actually pretty good for bringing 2 wit cards in. I'm actually surprised. I guess there's no race bonus on Fuku Kitaro. I'm surprised your skill list is this short, even with all of this. Another Top Gun on Pace Chaser, not End Closer, with Head On. Head On is just such a gamble on a long track. Special Week, and a gold chip. All the gold chips look so similar to each other.
3番人気は晴れはスタート各馬娘綺麗なスタートを切りました
Alright, who's getting promoted?
先行争いはダイワスカーレット
I would assume Daiwa is kind of fine with getting promoted, and she does. My Super Creek is very far behind from the pace pack. Actually, both the Super Creek and the Top Gun are really far behind. Maybe I have too much mid-race. I can't hit no stopping me off the lucky pace. I guess I'm just gambling on a head-on proc. Oh. I think I just saw my gold chip hit straight away spurt into Oh, but I died. Wait, how did I die? If I hit straight away spurt. Wait, what? Or did just everyone else hit encroach also hit no stopping me? Oh, lost the Taishin. Wait, my gold chip was running backwards after hitting. This was the other gold chip that hit, and I misread that because we were at 4 XP because I forgot to slow it down. Oh, sorry. Taishin is real, yeah. I think she was just potential woman because it's hard to get the mid-race skills on her. I hate how the skip button goes like to the final corner and not the late race. I'm so washed. Sorry. I'm just confused because I saw the straightaway spurt proc, which means I had enough stam. But I missed swinging Maestro here. But if I hit straightaway spurt, doesn't that mean I'm in my last spurt? Or I guess my last spurt, maybe it calculated my last spurt. Yeah, because I missed swinging Maestro. Maybe it calculated my last spurt. I think it died. Yeah, no, it's definitely dead. I guess she just like instantly calculated her last spurt at lower stam. Unfortunate. Yeah, I missed swinging Maestro, so she died. I missed my recovery skills, so she died. Which is unfortunate. Yeah, I'm so washed, why can't I just get her to hit her recoveries? Alright, we're back in the Daiwa room. Late Surger, base Fuku. You have Lion Weight, because you're borrowing it. Top Gun, End Closer, Straightaway Spirit, no stop. I guess you should almost always have Straightaway Spirit. And then a Pace Daiwa. Yeah. You got Ignited Stam? Probably from Legacies? Interesting.
7番
Alright, let me not 4x, because I get way too confused at 4x. We're back to the taking the lead Groundworks Daiwa. What do I think about the consistency of Indomitable? I think on a long track, like, it's copeable, right? Because all you have to do is change positions during the mid race, which generally happens. Especially if like you're running late, or if you're running any position really, because a gold chip can pass you in the mid race. So I think it's fine as a cope. I think on shorter, like on a medium, sometimes it's a little iffy to get past. Too early of a rushing gale. Hopefully these. Well, it's kind of bad that a rushing gale kind of worked, but hopefully these races show you that rushing gale isn't that great. Oh, I missed no stopping me. How did I hit Uba stand there? I'm gonna get passed by this Fuku. So I missed no stopping me. Maybe I should just rebuild with more wit at this point. That is very funny though. The late Fuku. Yeah, I think if you get a Daiwa in this range, you should be winning a lot of your room matches. Because like even if I hit no stopping me there, I'm not making up a 10 length difference. I think I'd have to have like double circles of both speed in order to catch up. You do need a Suzu to do that, yes. It has to be Runaway Suzu and Front Runner Daiwa. And like at the bare minimum, have both taking the lead and Groundworks. Oh, our first Seiyu in the sky. We have a gold chip on running speed power. Speed power gold chip. Okay. Random Iron Will Top Gun. Another Wit Super Creek. Looks like Team Trials. And everyone, you guys have been pulling on some banners. Swinging Maestro 1063 on End Closer. Okay. Seiyu Sky. Groundworks. Okay. Why is taking the leads that far up? I thought it was after the corners and stuff. And then Pace Daiwa. I was trying to look for taking the lead. I didn't realize it was that far. Yeah, that's a lot of mid-race. I can't believe you double circled them. Not mid-race, just like a lot of skills in general.
各馬娘綺麗なスタートを切りました。
みんな集中してましたね。好レースが期待できそうです。
さあ花に立ったのはセイユンスカイ。このままリードすることができるか。先頭から大きく離されて2番手はダイワスカーレット。1馬身差2番スーパークリーク。1馬身離れて1番スーパークリーク。 5番ゴールドシップ5番手少し後ろから8
A
番
fast
ゴールドシッ
learner.
プ1馬身離れて成田ブライアン第4コーナーカーブ
Let me revisit the build. I got distracted trying to look for taking the lead.
後方の馬娘が差し返せるの
2x
か
this.
気になる
Yeah, these room matches are everyone has such good decks, you know. A cooldown proc in the mid race. Alright, can I hit no stopping me off of you? Please? No! The escape artist. Oh. That is an issue, right, that you can have. In those 100 meters, somebody can hit no stopping me off of you and take your angling. That is a wise Brian ulting. That is an issue. Like I think most of the front runners would really like a Suzu rabbit because it's not even like 100 meters of. Oh wait, yeah. Is 3% enough? You have 951 stamp, 446 guts, and a 3% recovery if you proc both. You meant to borrow the rice support? Yeah, I don't know if 3% is enough. But you can... Yeah, this would be a really good save, Scott, if you borrowed a rice shower. I just assumed that everyone entering these rooms just had Swinging Maestro, so I didn't even, like, question it. Man, that's unfortunate. Like, literally, if this was Swinging Maestro and you didn't buy, like, Sympathy 777s, I think it would work perfectly fine. I think the point still stands that, like, without a runaway, a lot of the times you can get overtaken before angling can proc. Especially by, like, no stopping me procs from the pace chasers. Without, like, a Suzu upping the tempo of the whole race. Outside of, you know, the lack of Swinging Maestro there. I think this Daiwa wins against my gold ship if you had long S. Long S I think is more than half a length. It had a pretty decent red ace proc. I think it was a little late. But you definitely win off of that just by having long S. Especially since all we did, we just overtook the Saiyan Sky. But yeah, I think you just lost because you didn't have long S. Which is a lot realer on a long track like this. What am I doing for CM7? The medium one? I want to... The only thoughts I have right now is I really want to do a pace Maru. I don't know what I'm gonna do for the other two. Because I don't want to run Taiki again. that an end closer Maruzensky? Alright, let me look at this. We have a gold ship. You have a lot of skills. This is a fast learner. It's a lot of skills. End closer Maruzensky. With straightaway spurt, no stopping me, and G. Is interesting. Rice shower. Maybe I just throw in gold chip again. I don't know. I'd rather not. Nice nature. Straightaway sprint. No stopping me. End closer, nice nature. That's nice. Holy end closers. A Teo end B end closer. And a McQueen pace with groundworks. What if we have 4 end closers? And 3 of them are Summer Maruzensky, Tokai Teo, and Nice Nature. Oh, the Discord role ping? Yeah, I did forget it. For the video. My bad, my bad. I was very late. Sorry, I haven't streamed in so long. I should automate it, yeah. Oh, I got rushed. That's crazy. Yeah, maybe I just need to pivot my channel to sing. Would I be able to get rid of the meta slave tag if I ran gold chip on every single CM? What's my team trial score looking like? I think like 580k. I have a lot of front runners I still need to make for team trials. With the taking the lead card. Oh, I gotta 2x this. I got promoted? Didn't this McQueen have groundworks? Whatever. My Super Creek's never gonna win anyways, because I haven't finished her build. Alright, what if we just no stopping me together? Me and this other gold chip. You hit no stopping me off of me, and then I hit no stopping me off of you. No? No, you're just gonna hit it? You're gonna leave me in the dust? I don't think my Brian can catch up with the gold chip. Ah, come on! Come on! Gold chip, gold chip, gold chip. I just lost to a 11 speed long ass gold chip. End closer, nice nature, end closer, Teo. I think I got bullied out to the outside lane by the other gold chip, so I can hit no stopping me off anyone but the other one. But yeah, no stopping me CM. Or if my Russian Gale activated a little bit later, maybe I could have won that. But unfortunate. Maybe in weaker lobbies that Brian can win. Alright, I think we'll do one more set. One more set. Hopefully, if you guys haven't already seen how this CM works, hopefully this helped you, I mean, I guess if you're able to build that Daiwa that Gacha has, that also works. Right? But it is, as the title it says, just a no stopping me roulette. The only times I feel like if nobody hit no stopping me, then yes, like other things can win. Or if a pace hits no stop, but like even like a pace wins by hitting no stopping me, a late surger. Well, my late surger only wins with a rushing gale with the no stopping me. I don't know, I haven't seen much win without no stopping me, besides like a Daiwa Resplendent Red Ace that actually activates in the late race, or near the late race. What is this creek? Oh man, this creek just looks exactly like the one I want to build. Interesting to not go for angling and scheming. Even fronts only win with no stopping me. Do I think I'll have the same win rate as Gemini? Like when like the 90 plus I had on Gold Chip? Yeah, probably not. I think a lot of people will have... yeah, I think a lot more people will have better decks. But I do think like round 1, I should be able to... It's definitely going to be lower just because of the no stopping me roulette. And I'm not running... I think like the only thing that can consistently get a high win rate is the... like a front with Suzu. I think otherwise you're just kind of at the whims of no stopping me. I wonder how many people in the actual CM will grab cooldown instead of no stopping me. I guess that's not something that I thought about, is what if people are building without no stopping me? But I feel like... I actually don't know the answer to that. You hope quite a bit. I've definitely seen some people who got cooldown from Rice Shower rather than no stopping me when like they post builds, but I can't imagine it's that high. Alright, it's been like 3 minutes. Alright, this is gonna be the last set of 5. Just because I'm kind of getting tired of watching these races. Let me go ahead and... Hold up, I don't think I removed the old rolls, so let me do that. Okay. I forgot to remove the people that won last time. A little bit more competitive? I think so too. It should get a little bit more competitive. I think it'll... because like most of the people that are staying like should have decent decks. I guess there's still people saving for like the Kitasen banner, right? So maybe after that. Alright, if your name popped up down here, I'm gonna at you with the room codes. And while they set this up, I'm gonna go use the restroom. But this will be our last set of 5. This will be our last set of 5, and then hopefully by then the schedule for next month will come out. And I'll be right back. Holy, I'm so pale. You guys be with my chair. What do you mean? I'm wearing shorts. What do you mean I wasn't wearing pants? Alright, most of these rooms have filled out. We got another Symboli. Wait, everyone... Am I poor? I have A pluses, everyone here has S's. Alright, let's see. I have a Symboli. That is a deck. Stam Eater, Straightaway Spirit, no stopping me, long A. I should have pulled on Pegasus. Nimble Nav? Double S, wow. Nimble Nav instead of no stopping me? I feel like it would have been fine if you dropped like pressure or something for no stopping me. Straightaway Spurt, no stop. Wait, what are you? An end closer as well? But you only have no stopping me on one of your Umas? Have you been practicing with them? I imagine it's really hard to win without no stopping me. Especially on end closer. What am I looking at? A pace groove? No stopping me. Instead of a second gold, you have Pure Heart. Super Creek. And then a gold chip. That's a long list. You did 15 races on this? You did 15 races with a... what looks to be... what is this? A 40% race bonus deck? I guess, yeah, technically shorts aren't pants. Way to access. Alright, Brian, hit a Russian Gale. I feel like this like the entire CM, the actual CM, I'm just gonna be praying my Brian hits a Russian Gale. How many paces do we have? Wait, I thought we had... Is it only 2 pace chasers? Or there's 3? That's my Super Creek in the back. Ooh. Early Russian Gale. Hopefully this shows that like Russian Gale is not a good skill. Like, it has worked once out of 16 runs, which is less than 10%. I've had one good proc in 16 runs. You should not be picking up this skill. I hit no stopping me, and I can't catch up. Did I die? No, I'm dueling. I did not die. Oh, you can't. Can you not see other people's procs and fast forward? Maybe that's why. Maybe I should stop the fast forward at the end there. 2 end closers, 1 nimble nav, 1 no stopping me. I guess I can't see the white version of nimble nav. I didn't see the no stopping me from this. But I was also like super far in the back of the pack, I guess, when I hit no stopping me. Both my Umas died. 30-second cooldown, I can proc again. Rudolph hit no stopping me? Okay. Alright, actually, yeah. And that makes sense. It's the most... Yeah. It is a no stopping me roulette. So I have a front runner Rice Shower. Rice Shower gets pretty easy. Rice Shower has Kyoto Racecourse and Firm... Well, Firm Conditions is one of her events. But Kyoto Racecourse you always get. So she has a easier time hitting the Groundworks. I just don't have Suzu to actually make use of this Groundworks, so I gave up. Or I'm going to give up on the Rice Shower, because Lucky Pace is not real. Lucky Pace Rice Shower, at least, is not real. Super Creek, no stopping me. Rushing Gale. Runaway Suzu to pace up the lobby. End Closer. Gold Chip. And Top Gun. Is Lucky Pace Daiwa real? Not really. Because like, if you do get that Lucky Pace position, you are just guaranteed to activate it at the 50% mark, which I mean, I guess is a mid-race skill. But then it depends like what's your acceleration. Is runaway pace? Does runaway pace work? I think you would rather do front because like you're I think runaway pace is too rough. I think runaway pace is hard because it's harder to guarantee that you get the no stopping me proc, right, on a pace rather than a front. Why is my gold ship in dead last? No stopping me, no stopping me, no stopping me. I miss my no stopping me. My gold ship does not like proccing no stopping me. Can't catch up to the earlier no stopping me proc. What do you mean the creek hit? What do you mean the creek won without any excel? The creek has no stopping me. And everyone's no stopping me was just too late. But the creek's no stopping me hit first. Well, everyone's no stopping me was late, but even with a late no stopping me, the creek hit it before, like, the other ones. Like, this creek has no stop. I mean, we can rewatch. I'm pretty sure I hit it off of the... Like, it was pretty late. But I think everyone's was pretty late. I hit Rushing Gale out the gate. Is that why I was fourth? I'm pretty sure it hit no stopping me like pretty early. Well, not pretty early, but earlier than everyone else's. I wish I could just skip to the late race. Right. I mean, no stopping. Yeah, it was the third one to hit no stopping, man. And then my no stopping me came way too late. I think like 5 people activated before me. It is pretty, yeah. It's not even gambly because it's like someone's hitting it. It's just the gamble is, do you hit it? I think you can set up things like, you know, like I think setting up a Suzu to hit no stopping me off of is good because a lot of people won't be building to like for that type of room. triple encloser. That is crazy to look at. 8 A aptitudes. That is funny to look at. All. Noria Taishin, you ran a gut. You ran 2 guts cards. Actually, that's crazy stat spread for running 2 guts cards. We have another Top Gun, an End Closer. Straight away Spirit, no stopping me, no stopping me. Angling McQueen. No stopping me, Encroaching Shadow. No stopping me, just on your left. Oh, because you're buying cooldown. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's what my creek is for, right? I'm trying to push up to second. But my creek is not built correctly. I'm missing a lot still. Like, I'm missing long S, I'm missing, like, 100 power, and I'm missing 50 width, 50 speed. Which I think is hittable. Like, all my runs so far have been in the realms, like, pretty bad RNG. But yeah, like, a lot of people won't be building like a high width groundworks to keep up with the Suzu type of stuff. But obviously that requires you to own Suzu, which I don't. I've got to speed this up. Alright. So the prayer here is I hit no stopping me off of this person, or off of this McQueen in front of me. Wait, I don't know if this is happening. Two Narita Taishins. Oh, I just got blocked out by the Narita Taishin. Oh, that's funny. Shadow Break? Is Shadow Break enough? I got blocked out by the Taishin, but Brian clutched up. Actually, that brings us to 10%, right? Because this is our like a 20th set. Yeah, it's about 10%, right? Like that's generally how I feel about Rushing Gale. Is 10% of the time, like, it can work. Which I right now only have on my Brian. I don't think I can afford it on my Super Creek because I'd rather buy other stuff. But I think, like, on Brian, when I'm running Aishin Flash, and I get 5 discounts to straightaway acceleration and 3 discounts to Rushing Gale, it kind of felt weird not buying it, because it was so cheap. It was like 228 skill points. Is that the number? But that is also the only way this Brian wins. Especially since I'm also gambling on 1-in recovery skill, like, it is not consistent. But losing to that Rushing Gale is, would be very tilting. Because it's just like, I mean, it is just a straight up gamble. A gold ship that looks like a lot of other gold ships. A End Top Gun, who kind of looks like a gold ship. A gold city with an on your left gamble. This is funny. I guess actually on your left, I guess technically is a better gamble than Rushing Gale, right? Like it hits more often. What are you running? Pace Samaru with a Suzu Runaway? Interesting. Pace Samaru Runaway Suzu. November 24th. You didn't grab taking the lead? Couldn't you have just replaced one of your wit cards with Mihono Bourbon? And grab taking the lead instead of just early lead? And then a Taishin, or your Taishin's good. Innate experience? You ran the gold chip card? Not even worth the skill points over like no stopping me.
5番人気は
晴れ渡る。今スタートが切られました。各馬娘揃って綺麗なスタートを切りました。
Oh, right, yeah. To be... You still have to be 6th or lower. I kind of forgot about that. Sorry, I would never pick it up. Which is why I just kind of forgot about that whole problem. Right. I may actually slow it down near the late race, so I can actually see some skills being procced. I mean, the Marzensky hits no stopping me off the runaway, right? I'm having a hard time keeping up. Yeah, Gold City right now is what, 5th place? So on your left just straight up doesn't work. Oh! The on your left proc. Or sorry, the no stopping me proc. Can I catch up to the instant on your left proc? Or not on your left, that's stopping me. Oh my gosh. Alright, I'm gonna speed this up now. Because I think it's just Taishin and Gold Chip, right? That can... Yeah, the instant proc was crazy. Yeah, like I think the runaway... Like, runaway pace can work. It's just, well, one... Actually, I guess if there's a front runner, it doesn't really matter. It's just you really want to be the pace. Like, if you're setting something up like that, you need to be the pace that procs it. And obviously, my Super Creek can't contend because they had Groundworks to proc it off the Suzu. And then I think my Gold Chip straight away spurt into somebody and got blocked out. I don't think I'm catching up. 5 lengths, like, is just too hard to catch up. Off of that, like, a pace hitting one of the instant no stopping me's. So, like, I think, like, there's a little bit more intricacy than just, like, a Gold Chip hitting no stopping me, but it requires you owning Suzu. Which, I mean, if you own Suzu, you should look into maybe building around it, because, like, a Pace Chaser basically can't contend for that no stopping me proc without having Groundworks included. Just because it creates such a big gap between the end closer and, like, the Pace Chasers and the front runners when there's a runaway in the lobby. And it's really hard, like unless I had more stuff, like I'd have to basically get more skills to try to close the gap, which is pretty hard to do. But I mean, obviously it's simple, just own Suzu. I don't know how, like, I think you should build around Suzu if you own her. I don't know how often in the actual CM you will see people built around Suzu. I think no, frontrunner Daiwa I think is more reliable. Groundworks will definitely be more important than Highlander. Highlander has like a 40% chance to activate in a good spot. So I think it activates on a random point on the slope, right? What do we have? Pace, Tachyon. End closer, Taishin. As if it would be anything else. Gold ship. Speed power build. Your stamina is really low. I'm surprised. Are you inheriting power? And closer, Top Gun. Pace Chaser Ogre. Suzu with base. Yeah, I think like it's a little bit less consistent than running it like, as a front runner, because even if you had like, I mean, you have the pass the wit check on Groundworks, right? So there's a chance that you enabled the pace chaser in second if you don't have it. Your jobber status this CM. I mean, I'm pretty jobber this CM. I haven't been spending that much time prepping for it. Like, I just have 2 serviceable Umas. Like, my gold ship could be better. I could have 200 more power on her, essentially. But I have to redo all my legacies right now, because I'm prepping for Crispus Ogre. So I need to start putting in Super Greek and Tachyon into my parent loops. Oh, I forgot to slow it down. Wait, I hit Angling. Oh, it doesn't matter. Wait, Narita Bryan? Was that not a Russian Gale proc? Did I just hit a natural no stopping me off of a pace promotion? I didn't slow it down fast enough. So many stars I feel like I have to align for my Bryan to win. I mean, that was just an instant no stopping me proc. The no stopping roulette chose my Narita Bryan to win. I don't know, who would I even hit it off of? A pace chaser? Probably. Is that the last? I think that's our last race. Hopefully the schedule... Okay, so either the schedule releases in 6 minutes or it releases in an hour. So I don't know what the timing is for it. Alright, let me mute the game, so I don't want to close it. Yeah, it should be 6 minutes for it to be like the normal time. So let me go ahead move it over and start pulling some stuff up. But once again, these 2 have already been released, the Special Transfer and Kawakami Princess. Once the schedule actually releases, I'll go over them. But we know this is tomorrow. Week 2 should be Cafe and Nakayama Festa. We should get the second... Oh, what'd I do? We should get the second Master Trainer roads. So if you remember, the first one gave us the... Is it the random ticket? Right? This one just gives sashes. Then somewhere in week 2, the second CM, or CM7 should start. When the CM starts, we have the Legend Race with Fuku, Saiyan Sky, Hayahide. There should be a story event during then too, a little bit after, with the release of the festival skins for the festival alts for Rudolph and Gold City. And then there should be current Gen Wick card and the Brian Stamp card. Week 3 just has Jordan and then the Kitasen Black rerun. Week 4 I'm a little iffy on, because these all are like the last couple of days of week 4, so I don't know if we'll actually get to them. But that should have Dober. It should have a new event, which is Kiseki's Miracle Showtime, which I will bring up once we get to, if it is even during week 4. And then CM7 should, at least the registration, is most likely sometime during week 4. And that also includes a Legend Race. The Legend Race always is with the CMs, and then we should have another special transfer. Are we getting closer to 5 Barrows? That was released with Cross. Or no, Fine Motion, I think. Right, so that should... I think we're still going to be in enough month. They accelerate to release if they accelerate an extra, like, if they cut off a week from next month to release Christmas Ogre a week earlier, that's... They would need to accelerate an extra week off, essentially, to have it on release with the Christmas stuff. Which is a lot of acceleration. But from the... Do I have it? Yeah, so from their old tweet, they increased it to 5 December 14th. The first rental of the day will be free of consumption. I believe this is when they did it. And that was 2 days, or actually the same day as Fine Motion's release. The schedule banner. Yeah, it does, right? Wait, where is it? It's getting hard to fit it on the screen. But I think it's also because it was because of the half Annie celebrations, right? Like, once those are gone, it should be a little bit shorter. What am I calling this? December 2025. Alright. Should release in 2 minutes. Oh, I never did a review on the Manhattan Cafe stamp card. Oops. Refresh time? I am refreshing. I should probably bring up the Boomas that are coming out, though. Where is it? Princess, Cafe, Festivals, you. And then let me go to cards. Supporter cards. Upcoming. Where are they? Pigeon, Stam, Wit, Helios. Is that everything? Oh, Helios might not come out. No, Helios is coming out. I'm stupid. Alright, is the schedule out? No? Please. I don't know what else to say. Did you pull on Fine Motion since you don't have it at all? You still have the cricket. The Fine Motion rerun, the first Fine Motion rerun's kind of awkward. That's also kind of still far away, right? The 24th. Oh! Okay. It is out. Alright, let's see. Yep. So, like I said, that looks like everything that I had up is coming out. I don't think I missed anything then, right? We're ending off with Kiseki's Showtime, Dober, Helios, and then the next CM. I will say it is a little Libra Cup's a little earlier than I thought. This is on the 8th. I thought it was sometime at the end of. Oh, this is big. I thought it was at sometime at the end of the. Let me open this image in a new tab. I thought it'd be sometime at the end of the second week. The 8th is kind of early. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11? 11 things. So we have Princess in 4 days. We have the same Sky, where we have the new Legend race. The 8th, we have Cafe and Nakayama Festa. The 8th, so add 4 days to this. Registrations is 4 days, so it actually starts on the 12th. Right, there's always 4 days of registration, or like choosing either open or graded league. So it actually starts on the 12th, which is closer in line to what I said for the second week, actually. The 14th has... Oh, this came a little earlier than I thought it would. The 14th has the festival outfits with the event, and Curran Chan Witt and Brian Stam. Then we have Jordan and the rerun banner on the 18th. Which is kind of a lot of overlap. Then on the 22nd, we have the Legend Race for CM7. 24th, we have Kiseki's Showtime, which I will try to explain. I couldn't find like a full thing of it. I just have the Japanese wiki for it. It only ran twice. It ran one time this month, and then it'll run one more time like a year later. And then it gets replaced by Agnes Tachyon Spark event, like the one where you can up your sparks and stuff and like reroll sparks. Like that event replaces Showtime, but Showtime runs twice, and it's once this event, and then one more time. Looks like it was 7 months after the first time it ran, and then it got replaced 9 months later with the Tachyon Spark event. So this is the first of the 2 times that it will run. This is not the Spark reroll event. The Spark reroll event replaced this Showtime event. So we will not have Spark, well, unless they somehow completely change how the event works. But the Spark reroll event, the first instance of that was, well, not the reroll event, but the event that like lets you upgrade your sparks was 2 years, or this date on the Japanese servers. I don't remember when Spark rerolls were released at the 4th anniversary. So still pretty far off. Not the 4th anniversary, sorry, the 4th scenario. The 1.5 anniversary event. Which was... It's like 7 months away. Was when it got introduced. So I will not talk about it because this is not the event. I just closed the tweet. This event eventually gets replaced by it. They could bring it early too. Yeah, everything that I say is going off of how it happened in the Japanese server. So obviously they can expedite stuff, right? I'm just saying, like, at the latest, it'll probably be the 1.5 anniversary. Then Dober and Helios comes out on the 28th, and then the 28th is the start of, or the registration for the Scorpio Cup, which means that it actually will be January 1st, I think. Yeah, January 1st will be the start of the 8th CM, or the 7th CM, not the 8th. So we've got a little bit, like 1.5 weeks until the start of the Libra Cup. 4.5 weeks until the start of the Scorpio Cup. No Christmas for CM7. I have Ogre on the 2nd. I think there's a somewhat a high chance of Christmas Ogre coming out during the CM, but definitely not before the CM, given the time frame of it. But there's a chance that, like, for finals, you could see, you know, Christmas Ogre. Yeah, we're about 7 months off from the patch that introduced Spark rerolling. But there's a chance that Christmas Ogre will release in time. We're not in time, but we'll release for it. All right, give me a couple seconds to update these numbers real quick. Just so I don't forget to do it later on. Symboli Rudolph was not the 13th. This is the 14th. Dober. No, this is Jordan. Jordan was the 18th, not the 21st. 25, and then... Wait, what? Okay. And Dober is the 28th. 12/28/25. Right, and then what do? I change this value to the 28th. And then I change this value to the 27th. Drag this stuff down. Yeah, so now, like, I mean, it changed from 50% to 49%, or it should be around the same like acceleration for around the same acceleration. Like 1% is maybe half a day. All right, let's go ahead and go into actually reviewing stuff. So first up, once again, I have all my reviews pretty like footnoted in the banner schedule, so like you can just kind of read it. But I will go a little bit more into depth right now. So first up, we have Princess. Princess has a 20% guts growth rate and a 10% power growth rate, which is pretty unfavorable for in terms of just stat bonuses in general. Like, obviously, until you can max out every other stat, a 20% guts growth rate just will never be that useful. She can run sprints and miles. It's a lot harder to get her to run long distances, but getting from D to A and B to A isn't that hard, so technically you can run it for 3. She only has aptitude for late, but can be brought up for pace and end. Her unique skill, when you're on the final straight, if you've been blocked by the side for 2 or more seconds, you get a target speed increase. But majority of the time, the final straight all the time, the final straight is in the late race. And I mean, I guess, you know, if you were neck to neck for first place, sure, this will give you the edge out, like victory. But like, it's really hard to fulfill this condition on the final straight, just because it only realistically works if you are neck to neck for the win, right? I mean, I guess you could be second place fighting third place and overtake first. It's just a lot harder of a condition to fulfill than some of the other late race skills. She does have No Stopping Me, which obviously once we're out of this scenario, once we're out of Aoharu, you know, right now it's only on Bijin. So once we go into like the third scenario, owning Nimble Nav for some of these mediums and long tracks is a lot better than not having to borrow or run Bijin. I actually don't know when the next card comes out for it. Yeah. There's not really that many cards that comes out with it. And No Stopping Me is like a useful skill, obviously. She also has standard distances. She has late surger straights. And then she has Rising Dragon. Rising Dragon isn't the greatest skill. It's just it's a target speed increase. It's not the worst skill, right? Like you can use it in miles to have mid race. You can use it in long tracks to have it at the end. What on medium tracks, a lot of the times this will trigger while you're accelerating, so it's realistically only for long tracks. For late surgers. I'm gonna talk about Evo skills this month just because there is a chance Evo skills get moved up. So I do want to go over that. No Stopping Me, she gets a acceleration increase to 0.5 instead of 0.4. And then Rising Dragon also gives acceleration, so now it can be used in medium tracks as an acceleration skill. Albeit a little bit late. I have her rated like around like a D+. I think like the 20% growth rates, like it's nice owning No Stopping Me, but Top Gun owns it, and Top Gun has like the Fast Learner event. She also, has her secret event that lets you grab like all the Excel skills for the different positionings. She has like her secret event just gives her 2 hints to Rising Dragon, or not Rising Dragon, the white skill of Rising Dragon. I'm blanking on it right now. She doesn't really have much going for her. I think like No Stopping Me is nice, obviously, but like in terms of a meta position, you only want No Stopping Me on mediums and longs, and having a long F makes it a little awkward to raise, and a 20% guts growth rate is a little awkward to raise. I think she's also just weaker right now because No Stopping Me is a skill that is essentially available to everyone through the team names. Maybe after this scenario, like once we enter the 3rd scenario, like and beyond, and you want No Stopping Me instead of running Bijin, then she'll be a little bit better. The cards that come out with it is a rerun banner, so I'm not really going to go into it. Legend Race is going to come out with Biwa Hayahide, Fukukitaru, and Seiun Sky. It's a Legend Race. You can get 79 to 88 crystals from this event if you get first place in all the races. It should just be the CM one. It's going to be the Giga show. Next up, we have Manhattan Cafe and Nakayama Festa stamina. Manhattan Cafe has 30% to stamina, which, I mean, at least it's one of the stats. Like, it's not guts, at least. But 30% to stam definitely makes it a little harder to like raise the other stats, though. I think right now, like, I mean, this is not like the upcoming CMs for this scenario specifically, which I think is going to basically be the last scenario that it's kind of hard to get certain stats up, is going to be a 2,000 meter medium, a 2,500 meter long, and then a sprint, and then a dirt mile. I think the 30% stam growth rate realistically only is helpful for this current CM specifically that releases 4 days after her banner releases. Otherwise, the stam growth rate, like, you don't care about it for a mile, a sprint. Maybe for like the Arima Kinen, like it'll be helpful, but it's unfortunate that it's like all into stamina. She's a medium and long runner. Late surger can be made into a pacer and end somewhat easily. It's a lot harder to get her on miles and sprints. It's also going to be hard to even build her, even if you get it up to A or S, just because she has that 30% stamina growth rate. You would rather put her on late surger because her skill is a mid-race skill that can only activate from 6th to 4th. So you 6th, 5th, and 4th. It's anchors away, but late surger, but it also decreases the speed of the people around you. But it's just anchors away, but on a late surger, and hopefully you know how strong anchors away is. Well, it's actually anchors away, but it has a tighter restriction. It can be activated anytime after the 50% mark, and it decreases current speed. So a little stronger than anchors away, just a tighter restriction. His Highlander, which can be somewhat useful on some tracks, not many tracks you really care about Highlander. She has Relax, which right now does absolutely nothing. Even with the changes to recovery skills being able to be like used late race, the issue is until your Uma has enough HP to run, like they won't calculate their top speed or like their last spurt prior to the activation of Relax. So they're not going to like see into the future, oh, I'm going to proc a recovery skill, so I should run at my top speed until I hit the recovery skill. They'll run at a lower top speed, hit the recovery skill, and then realize that they can run at a faster pace. And because this is a random point in the phase, like even like if it activates way too far into the late race, like there's no like it doesn't matter. Even if you like full restored back to 100 H or like at 100%, like it's already too late because you were already running at a lower top speed prior to the activation of the recovery skill. Stamina Siphon is a 3.5% stamina recovery, but it does drain 1% from the people in front of you. But you do have to be 5th or lower. So I think even for the next CM, like if you're building her as a late surger, it's going to be kind of hard to be 5th or lower, or at least permanently be 5th or lower, because you need more people in front of you than behind you. Because you would essentially need 4 pace chasers if you're building her as a late surger. But her end closer is a C, so it only takes 2 or 4 plus sparks to upgrade it to A. We'll go ahead and go into her buffed state or her current state on the Japanese server. Same unique, nothing about that changed. Relax eventually does get fixed to work in the middle leg, so then it actually turns into a recovery skill and still maintains the 4th or lower, which there should be 3 people ahead of you usually as a late surger. I don't think anything changed about Stamina Siphon. I don't have Manhattan Cafe rated that high because her evolutions aren't that strong. Her recovery skill is still a recovery skill. A lot of other recovery skills usually like turn into something different. I mean, I guess it gives you a 0.15 target speed increase, but that's pretty weak in terms of an evolution skill. Stamina Siphon, you still need to be in a long track, so one of her skills is locked to a long track, but the only addition to this is it also increases your target speed. So it's one of the weaker evolutions that you can get. Like one of them, she's locked to running pace chase or late surger for it, and the other one, it's locked to only working in long tracks. I would only see her used on long tracks, right? I mean, you can kind of try to use her for medium tracks, but both her skills right now just aren't useful. I guess Stamina Siphon isn't the worst on like the Arima Keenan. It would also work for the next CM, right? But Relax is still a bad skill. Prior to the next buff that it'll get when it starts working in the mid leg, because since right now late race recovery skills are still bad. Let me check. What did I rate her when I did my initial? I have her on A tier. Oh, I have her on A tier only on long tracks. Yeah, I think everywhere else she kind of sucks, just because losing your potentials kind of is rough. But I think she's usable in long tracks, especially once Relax gets fixed. So she can kind of run as a late surger, or you can just build her as an end closer once like Daring Attack comes out, and you can try to chain up to your. You can never run her as a pace chaser because you would just disable her unique. But I think you can run her as an end closer if you had something like Daring Attack or more mid race to push you up to 6th place as an end closer, and then activate your unique. A tier on long tracks might be too highly rated. But she's not like the worst, she's just really bad on anything that isn't a long track. Alright, the card that comes out is Nakayama Festa. This is a stamina card that, I mean, it has guts and stamina bonus, so it's not the worst for training. I think in general, for a stamina card to be good, for a stamina card to be good on medium, like you only bring stamina cards to mediums and longs. I think for it to be good on a medium, they need to have high cross-training stats, like high training effectiveness, just because you're not going to be training on stamina that much, or like give a skill that is really good. This card doesn't get the training of effectiveness down here until level 45, which is only 5%, and then 10% at level 50. The gold skill is a medium skill, which increases your velocity when you are 5th through 2nd on the last straight, which is essentially like an inherited triumphant pulse, right? The other issue that I have with this card, like we're gonna only talk about max limit break because I don't think you'd ever run any card at level 30. The other issue I have with it is it gives 0 race bonus, which is good and is pretty much mandatory for the 3rd scenario. So it's another like awkward point to have to, pick up, just because it's like 0% race bonus is really hard to fit. I think 5% is like fine, since at least for now you only need 35% around to hit like a decent amount of SP. But with a 0% race bonus deck, it feels really awkward. Prepared to Die, like, it's a good skill, but it also comes out during the 4th scenario. I guess, and it's like they're not really gonna be running a stamina card with 0 race bonus in the 3rd scenario, and then by the time you can run stam cards again in the 4th scenario, you can just get this from I think Agnes Tachyon Speed is the one that gives Prepare to Die from the scenario. So it's just like in a really awkward spot in terms of like the gold skill and like the training it can do for the next 2 scenarios. And I think even like stamp cards right now outside of this long track is already awkward to run. That's like pretty much my review on Nakayama Festa. Like I think it's not like the worst card, it's just in a really awkward spot because of essentially everything I listed. But it does have a lot of good late skills and medium stuff. And I think, yeah, like it's good. I don't know. I think it's just not good enough. You also have to gamble for the well, actually not the gamble, sorry. I think this one, it changes based on what you chose on the first event. But I think you have to gamble for Prepare to Die, or else it'll give you All I've Got. But you can force Umastan from it. So I guess like it's a decent enough parent card if like you don't have King Halo for Umastan on the first event. But also like going for Umastan on the end chain event, even in parent runs, is awkward. I just don't think the card's good. I don't think it's worth pulling on. We have the Libra Cup. It's the Kikua show. Hopefully you have some inkling on when to run for it. This will be in 12 days. December 8th is the signups, then there's 4 days of registration for choosing your league. December 12th will be when you have to do round 1. Alright, the next banner we have is Symbolic Rudolph and Gold City Festival. These Umas are in a really bad spot. Like, I think both their original outfits are just better. We have Symbolic Rudolph. Okay, we'll start off with Rudolph Festival. 8% speed, 14% stam, 8% wit. The stat growth rates are better than like a 20% stam, 10% guts. Right? Still has the pace late strategy, medium long, mile C. It's just like the rest of her kit just simply isn't that strong. Her skill, you have to be 5th or higher during the late race on the final corner, and somebody has to be trying to overtake you. Well, actually, sorry, the precondition is somebody's trying to overtake you during the late race or beyond. Then on the final corner, your speed will increase. The majority of the time, the final corner is when you're accelerating on a medium track. This only works on a long track, essentially. This is simply only for long tracks. And realistically, it's simply only for the Kikua show, right? Because if somebody's trying to overtake you during the late race here, then you'll get the target speed increase during this 4th corner, or the final corner. But this also releases after the Kikua show. Her skills are Straight Descent, which is okay. She has Calm and Collected, which is a pretty decent... You don't get the full effect of the recovery when it's the later half of the early race, but like it's still a usable pace chaser recovery skill. And she gets the gold version of Fall Runner, which gives you speed and power in fall races. If we go over to her evolutions, so essentially one of your skills is locked to 3 CMs every year. Not every year, but every cycle, because they do 3 CMs per season. It's not going to be a year because we're under acceleration. One of her recovery skills increases the stamina recovery rate, but it's still locked to a random time during the first half or the second half of the opening leg. So a lot of times, like if you get an unlucky proc, you wouldn't even be able to use 5.5%, let alone 7.5%. And then her other evolution is 40 more stats. You get 80 in speed and power rather than 60 in speed and power. So she's a pace chaser that can only be ran on long tracks. And that's essentially like she can only be ran on long tracks because like her skill can only activate on the final corner, which means that you really can't effectively use this on medium tracks. You definitely can't use this on miles or sprints because the final corner will be before the late race, so you'll never be able to activate the preconditions for it. And the best timing to activate, or realistically the only timing to activate this, is on a long track. If we go ahead and pull up all long tracks in the future, right? Arima Keenan, like, it's a little iffy. Like, you can run it here on the 3200. I mean, the Kikua show reruns in League of Heroes, but League of Heroes isn't the CM, and that's more so, like, frontrunner heavy. Like, I think just... Like, the Kikua show never reruns except for, right now, one League of Heroes, which is a completely different thing than MCM. I think she's just in a really bad spot. because she can only be ran as a pace chaser on long tracks, because her unique is locked to the final corner. Next up, we have Gold City Festival. Gold City Festival has 8 speed, 8 power, 14% wit. Another really good stat spread. Like, I think these three, well, honestly, just any stat spread that doesn't include guts is fine compared to her 20% guts, right? I also think that this one is it's not as bad as like the difference between Simbali Rudolph Festival and Gold City Festival. Her unique requires you to be on the final corner or beyond. You have to be blocked by the side. And you have to be 6th through 3rd, but you'll get acceleration and target speed increase, which is decent on miles. So it's not that bad. 6th through 3rd kind of encapsulates both pace and lates. She has a mile acceleration decrease skill that triggers randomly during the early race on miles if you're 6 or below and 3 seconds have passed. The only people you care about decreasing the acceleration of in miles is frontrunners, and most frontrunners should have already accelerated to their top speed within 3 seconds. All you really are doing is catching the frontrunners that didn't proc taking the lead in groundworks. So it's not the greatest skill even if you activate it exactly at the 3-second mark, and anytime after, it's a useless gold skill. She has the same problem as her original outfit, where she's generally a mile runner but has a recovery skill. But this recovery skill is locked only to late surger and not mile. So she basically has a recovery skill as long as you play her as a late surger, which does make it a little bit better than the original one, which is locked to miles with keen eye. Go over her evolution skills. I don't think her unique ever got changed, but her evolution skills is a stamina recovery skill. Everything else is the same, but it's stamina recovery for a mile. This is still locked to a mile. And then concealed readiness turns into also includes the target speed increase. So 2 pretty bad evolution skills. You get a recovery. You get a 1.5% recovery on a mile and a 1.5 or 0.15 target speed increase in your recovery skill. And this target speed increase can only activate during the early race. But just like her original outfit, really good at team trials because you can drop a lot of your recovery skills or a lot of your stam on miles for a recovery skill. So both her and the original outfit are really good at team trials. Really hard to use them, I think, in the actual CM. The 2 cards that come out with the festival is Curran and Narita Bryan Stam. Curran Wit. Curran Wit, at level 30, I mean, most cards at level 30 are just not good. So we will only look at the max limit break version in case you would, for some reason, want to borrow it. She is kind of good at training wit, right? 65% specialty priority, 45% mood effect, 30% friendship bonus, which is pretty big, 1% wit bonus, 30 friendship gauge, and 10% race bonus, because the other 5%'s here. Not like she's pretty good at training wit. She's very sprint focused, right? All her skills will be sprint focused. She also gives you perfect prep, which right now is only on Akebono. But because this will always activate during a sprint at a random random time during the mid race. It's actually a really good team trial skill. So for like sprints, this skill would do absolutely nothing for you in like a CM aspect, but maybe for your sprint team trial Umas, you might want to grab this. It is a random, like you can get the light version from the final event, but this is a pretty cheap gold skill, right? It's 280. It's a pretty cheap gold skill for team trials. That's like the only use case for this that I see. But if you for some reason get a max limit break version, you could always end it and you never for playtime's over and 30 energy. I don't think it's worth pulling on, right? Like there's just better wit cards out there, but it's actually not that bad of a card. It's just all of it is sprint focused, but you can get playtime's over and 30 energy. I think it's a really good card to get a random event from, because 30 energy and playtime's over is one of the better ones, right? So it's gonna be nice when this is like in the random event pool and you can get 30 energy from it. Alright, next up we have Narita Bryan. Scam cards, I think in general, outside of Super Creek, who gives Swing and Maestro, I think are really hard to use because of Rico. You only use stamina cards if you cannot run a Rico. So Narita Bryan. Let me find my notes for this. Narita Bryan, I think, gives Beeline Burst, right? Yeah, Narita Bryan gives Beeline Burst, which isn't that great of a skill. It does have a cooldown, so you can activate it twice on like a long track, or actually even on medium tracks. If you activate it at the first straight, you can activate it at the last straight. But I think just like Beeline Burst as a skill isn't the greatest. It has the same support hint pool as the Welfare card, the Welfare Narita Bryan's card. It gives a lot of stam. It has one skill bonus, but it has 10% training effectiveness, 35% friendship bonus, and 55 specialty priority, and one skill point bonus. So it's actually not that bad of a stam card. I just think, especially with the upcoming CMs, it's going to be like you're almost never using a stamina card until for the rest of this scenario outside of this long track. Maybe for the Arima Keenan, you need a stam card, but it would be Super Creek and not Narita Bryan. That's essentially everything on Narita Bryan. Not that strong of a card because it's the stamina card, and I think like all stamina cards have to be compared to Super Quake because you would rather a stamina card give you a recovery skill, because that's the reason why you're training stamina. That's everything for... That is not everything for this, because I have to talk about the story event, which comes with the supporter card, which is Bijin. Bijin is a Guts card. 10% race bonus is the only thing that this card has going for it, is that it can be used in the third scenario if you're doing a Guts build, because it has 10% race bonus. The skill it gives is Corner Connoisseur. Corner Connoisseur is not that great. It's a gambling skill. Anytime during a corner, you can gain acceleration. You just have to pray that the acceleration is on the corner that you want it on. You can end it for playtime's over. And it gives you like some winter skills. The only use case I have seen for it is it's a welfare card that like a free-to-play player can use during the third scenario for a Guts deck rather than going for like a race bonus deck or like a whaley SSR deck. But not the worst Guts card. But Guts cards I think are just hard to use outside of like sprints, and maybe once we get to the third scenario you can start using Guts cards on Miles. It has the same thing as this current event, get 1,000,000 points if you want all the rewards. The last SSR crystal is going to be at 920,000. This lasts for 11 days, so you need to get 100k per day. Actually, not 100k, because I guess there's some events that give you points. Alright, on the 18th, we have Jordan and the Kitasen rerun banner. We'll first go with Jordan. Jordan has 10% speed, 10% power, 10% guts. She's usually a pace. She's a pace late surger, but until her evolution skills, I think she'll generally be ran as a late surger, specifically because it has on your left. But she does have Race Planner as a pace chaser. Her skill is... Alright, these conditions... Some of these conditions are way too long. So, the @ symbol here means or. So, if you're in the last straight, or in the final straight, and you've been trying to overtake someone, or somebody is trying to overtake you, and you're 4th or higher, your speed will increase. I think that's actually a pretty decent skill. Because it's not that hard to fulfill, right? The final straight, and either you're faster than someone in front of you, or somebody is faster than you behind you. It's not that it can proc pretty often. Outside of you being like just way too far back. Obviously you had to be 4th or higher, but if you wanted to win the race, you had to be 4th or higher anyways on the final straight. But yeah, she has on your left, which right now on your left is a little bit lower value because it's on Nice Nature Wit, which is like the second best Wit card right now. But if you can't use Nice Nature Wit in your deck, then it's in her potentials. And then Race Planner is a pretty good recovery skill for pace. Well, it's pretty reliable. Like, you should be 5th or higher during the mid-race. And then it's guaranteed to proc anytime randomly during the mid-race. Her evolution skills make her a little bit more interesting. I don't think her unique skill ever got changed, but her... On your left, her evolution skill turns into on your left for Pace Chaser or Late Surger, and it doubles in duration. It goes to 1.8 instead of the 1.9. So this is... On your left generally is only for sprints and miles. Since it still has the... One on your left gets buffed, it'll be anytime during the first portion of the late race. So, you know, it closes the window by 50%. And also, I think it just straight up gets buffed to 1.8. I think that's also another buff. Or has it always been 1.8? Okay, never mind, I'm stupid. It's always been 1.8. I was thinking of Encroaching Shadow, that was 1.9 or 0.9. But it removes the order rate from it and allows you to do it on a Pace Chaser. The stamina recovery doesn't really matter. I don't think you're running on your... I guess because it's her evolution skill, you'd run it on mediums and longs, but on your left is not that strong on mediums and longs. Her recovery skill also turns into a recovery skill that can work for both Late Surger and Pace Chaser, and it removes the positioning requirement for it. So the only conditions it has is you are either a Pace Chaser or a Late Surger, and it can happen anytime during the mid race. I think Jordan is in like a pretty solid like middle of the tier list pack, like B, maybe a little higher. She can only be ran as Late Surger or Pace Chaser. She's not like the strongest, right? But she has a usable, like a pretty reliable, unique skill. And like her evolutions are actually pretty good. And then obviously with Jordan, I don't know how many people are pulling for Jordan because the supported cards are Kitasen Black and El Condor Pasa. It doesn't matter. It's just Kitasen. Like, my only saying for like if you're already planning on pulling Kitasen, most likely you're just gonna pull for it. My only thing is like if you are a newer player and like you had 0 copies of Kitasen and just 30,000, you can like it might not be worth for you going for it. But I am more on the side of I think you should own this card than not. I would say that if you had 0 copies, it's definitely a lot awkward if you're only going in with 30,000. I think that's everything here. We have another legend race for the 7th CM. 7th CM7, the the 2,000 meter turf. That has Air Groove. This is the Tenosho Autumn. Yes. That has Air Groove, Aishin Flash, and Agnes Digital. Then I can finally talk about Kiseki's Showtime. So this is off the Japanese wiki. If you were here and played during Gold Ship Week, where there was a harder version of the career, that is essentially what this is, right? You can it's a new mode where you can challenge a higher level of the scenario, where it just basically ups the stats on your opponents. And then every time you finish a career, you'll get a couple of points to spend on rewards. There's 5 levels of difficulty. So there's, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. You have to beat the previous level in order to move on to the next level. So you have to do levels 1 to access level 2. I think if you wanted every single reward from here, you would have to do levels 1 through 4 and then level 15 13 times. So it takes a minimum of 17 career races to buy everything from the rewards page. This event runs for 11 days. Let's see here. Yeah, so they just become slightly stronger the farther along you go along. If you're doing level 5, you can't use clocks. And I think your opponents are pretty strong and they'll be at great mood. So actually it says right here there's 72 rewards that you can get, and you would need to do 17 runs, right? It has 1,500 crystals, 2 rainbow shards, 2 SR shards, 600,000 money, 300,000 supporter points, 300 friendship points, and some team trial stuff. Every time you do the event afterwards, there's these rewards. They're not that useful. It looks like someone commented the stats of the level 5. So it's 1,000, 1,000, 900. Has Swinging Maestro. Looks like Beeline Burst, I think. All Seeing Eyes. And is this Guts? I don't know what body translates to. So it's not the easiest. Actually, I think these are the same. It's not Ignited. I think it's the same skills that they already had. Their stats just go up to 1,000, 1,900. If you really wanted to go through these runs, I think Bakshin, you can probably just do Bakshin runs, right? Since it doesn't matter how much stam they have if it's a sprint. But you would have to do 17 runs. I don't think it's that hard of an event. You might have to do runs specifically to beat it. Just because it's a little not being able to use continues is a little awkward. Does it come out with carry rewards like the Gold Ship event? No, this is an event, not a holiday thing. It's just a event list. I guess I didn't check. I guess I can try to check and see if there was any rewards that were given around that time, but it's not going to be specifically because of the event. That's essentially Kiseki's Showtime. There's just like the stats increase as you go to a higher level. You have to earn points for the rewards. And the higher difficulty isn't that much harder. But you can lose the 5th one because you can't use clocks on it. And obviously it's worth going for the crystals at least, so you want to at least try to go for that. Let me see if I can... I don't know if I can find the... Let me see. What time are we in? Oh, I actually just realized I didn't go over... Hold up. One thing I did miss going over was... Also, during all of this, there will be the second half, or part 2 of the Master Trainer roads. So, if you remember, part 1 had all of these rewards, with like the big ticket being the 3-star Uma Make Debut Scout. The second one is just 300 carats and sashes from mostly all the G1s. So if you win the G1 once, you get 50 sashes. You need 50 to hit potential level 5 on some of the Umas. This starts around when... October 19th. This is on the release of Manhattan Cafe. So Manhattan Cafe and the registration period for the CM that we're currently prepping for, this should come out. Yeah, it doesn't look like there was like a big bonus around it. It shouldn't realistically be. Alright, the last thing on I'm not going to go over the next CM. I think I've pivoted off of being a CM guide creator. The last thing we have is Dover and Helios. Midro Dover, I'm pretty sure, I feel like a lot of people have been talking about. 10% speed, 20% wit is really good. Pretty good stat bonuses. Really hard to run on sprints and long tracks, though mostly you want her for mediums. Her skill, it might be a little hard to read, but it's basically saying that you have to not rush. You cannot rush for this. And then if you are 6th or 5th during a late race, middle or late race corner, your acceleration would increase. This has similar use cases as Medro Orion, but it can sometimes awkwardly activate during the middle race because it's on. It can be on either corner. So, for example, if we went to CM7, which is Tokyo 2000, right, and we search up. Oh, they don't have Dober. That's kind of awkward. Mejiro. So if we look at it here, this is not the Tokyo 2000, right? Like it activates, because it can activate in the middle race, unlike Ryan, who can only activate during the late race. On some tracks, like you won't be able to fully effectively use this, especially if you were inheriting it, right? I actually don't know what the skill is called. Like, let's say I inherited this. How can I copy this? Like, I don't know if I can copy this. But if you inherited it, it wouldn't be it wouldn't go into any effect. So on some tracks, it won't be as useful as something like Ryan, right? Like CM7, Ryan activates as soon as the acceleration phase starts, whereas Dober activates as soon as the final corner starts, even though it's in the mid race. As an ace, like if you were actually training her as an ace, she does come with All-Seeing Eyes, which is that late surge or debuff skill. I mean, it's a stamina debuff skill. Generally is only useful on mediums and longs where people are struggling to hit stamina requirements. And then she gets, that's a weird translation of it. She gets a speed, stamina, and wit stat increase specifically in Kyoto race courses. Which, let me see what's in the future. How many times is Kyoto? Which, as of right now, is the current CM that we're on, which she will not be out for. And then we go through what appears to be about half a year of no CMs on Kyoto until the Kyoto 2200, which is going to be on the 19th CM. So in terms of like ace building, this skill pretty much doesn't do anything for the next couple of CMs. Or not even a couple. The next like 10 CMs isn't on Kyoto. We can go to her evolution skills. Her evolution skills, All Seeing Eyes can increase your current speed while also still doing the stam drain. Or it can become a current speed increase at a random time during the final leg. Current speed is extremely strong because you don't need to accelerate to the new current speed. It kind of, breaks physics and just adds 0.35 to your to the speed you're running right now. Especially since this happens at a random phase during the final leg. Obviously, you would want this to activate while you're accelerating, but I think current speed also increases your top speed, so it's a really strong skill there. If you still want the stam drain, you can keep it on that. The other one, the other evolution is evolving your Kyoto skill, which by the time we get to this one, evolutions might be out. But it's not that many Kyoto tracks in the future, or at least for... Yeah, it took an entire year in the Japanese server for them to run Kyoto again. So you just have to pretend that this skill doesn't exist when she releases. But usually used as a parent, but anyone who's a parent can be used as an ace, right? Because they have a stronger version of their acceleration skill. With Mejirodober, we have the Helios card here, which is a power card. Power cards are really weak. I think it's weaker than a lot of other power cards. 30% friendship, 50% mood effect, 10% race bonus is all good, right? 5% training effectiveness. But it comes with 35% specialty priority and 15% initial friendship gauge. Or not 15%, 15 initial friendship gauge. Has a lot of hint bonuses. Has the same hints as the other power card, or other version of the power card, the SR one. So not that bad. Like in terms of hinting, gives you Slipstream, Speed Eater, Mile Corners, Ramp Up. She gives Escape Artist, which is a pretty decent skill, right? Front half of at a random point during the mid race, if you're 5th or higher. You can end it for Pace Racer Corners for some reason. And then Escape Artist can be randomly given to you. So there's a chance that you don't get that. But chain events are also awkward, because assuming you're going for Escape Artist, this saps 5 energy, this saps 5 energy, this saps 10 energy, which makes it kind of annoying. But yeah, it's a gambling Escape Artist. I mean, it's not a power card, but power cards just are somewhat weak, right? But Escape Artist is a good skill. Like if you had a lot of SP, it's nice to grab Escape Artist. I think another thing that's awkward about this card is that even at max limit break, it doesn't prune the skills. It gives you 4 hint levels into the skills, which I think is pretty awkward. Especially like when you can get sympathy, stand to spare. It's weird that it gives escape artist, but she also has, stamp to spare. I guess you can end the event chain for Pace Chaser Corners, which might be good for parenting, right? Pace Chaser Corners right now is a pretty hard skill to get for parents. So maybe you get one copy of this if you want it on parents. I just don't think that, I mean, it's a power card. Like, it's going to be really hard to fit in. Like, if for some reason you needed to fit in a power card in your deck, like, as a front runner, like, I think you just, like, much rather have, I don't know, like, something that actually trains power, or Smart Falcon or something. But I think it's fine, like, as a parent card. I just wouldn't really pull for it. I think that's everything on the calendar, though, right? Yeah. That was everything on the calendar. How long did that one take? That one actually I finished it in under an hour. But I forgot to hit the record button, so now I have to download the whole stream. Yeah. Is there any questions about anything that on these banners? No, it's fine. I'll just download it. I knew I forgot to do something. I looked down to try to end like the recording, and I couldn't even find it. What's my Scorpio team? I'm thinking about doing. Well, right now the only thing I have for it. I'm so sorry, Right Shower. I don't think I can build you for this one. I think I'm gonna go back to Marozensky, because Marozensky can use a little bit of Redshift. So I was thinking about doing Redshift into shooting. But I don't know how consistent this would be for acceleration. Right? Like this was my plan for this, since I'm worried about getting bullied out of third. I also just don't want to run Taiki again. Taiki obviously is good here, right? Taiki shuttle. Right, Taiki shuttle gets shooting here, which is only, what is this, 30 meters? I don't really want to run Taiki. I think I'm gonna do Pace Marozensky. No, yeah, I don't think anyone's pulling on anything but Kitasin, right? Like, I mean, the cafe, I think people like. I'm really sad that these festival skins are so bad. Like, honestly, I wish they power crept the original outfits, because it's actually so tragic to not pull on a skin because they suck. I'm playing Frontrunner? No, this is Pace Chaser Marozensky. This ain't a Frontrunner. This is Pace Chaser Marozensky into shooting. I think Frontrunners are also strong. Like, I think Taiki will be strong, Frontrunners will be strong. I mean, obviously you can get 7th or 6th place with Ryan and go for that as well. Do I know of a Japanese resource that documented historical CMs and what parents were gonna need track? There's, I think the Korean I think did, or Korea's server I think did one, but it's a little hard to. I mean, you'd have to do a little bit more thinking, because like you have to consider, Taiki's newest or like new version. You have to consider No Stopping Me and stuff. But I don't think there was. I don't know. I haven't been looking at like a Japanese resource for it. Is going into 2nd place as Pace and missing shooting rate going to be an issue for Paces? Yeah. I think like the fact that there's only 2 positions for Pace Chasers, like people are basically going to fight for it. Oh yeah, Dober. Yeah, Dober people should pull for. Will probably be pulling for. Like, if they already have a max limit break Kitasin, like maybe Dober, or I mean Ogre comes out like a couple days after. Tachyon Ogre Dominator into Tachyon. Oh yeah. Also, most likely, if Christmas Ogre comes out during the CM, I will be replacing somebody with Christmas Ogre. Which of the two is better? Oh no, you can't use Redshift here. If you inherit Redshift, you wouldn't be able to use it. Like you, see, or for the 22,000 meter Tokyo, you can't inherit. You shouldn't be inheriting Redshift. It only kind of works ish on Marzensky. What's the Christmas Ogre build on the track? When does 777? No, I guess I'd have to do the math on it. But yeah, 777s activates, you know, at a pretty good spot, right? But yeah, you basically run random mid-race stuff to, what is it, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 23. If you procced it off of 777s right here. Actually, it's out in the final corner is when it procs. I guess I could pull up. Let's see here. Ogre cap. That's the wrong Ogre. Right, and then force this to activate at 223. I guess I still need to run recovery skills. Tokyo 2000s. Can I read this? Not really. Okay, we'll just grab random middle length stuff. Because I'm gonna force it to activate with 777s anyways. Right? 223 right here. This would be the activation window for C Ogre. Off of the 777s proc. So it's 100 meters of it. Most likely you'll have like 1200. Compare. Stamina's probably not this high. Like, honestly, with Christmas Ogre, you can probably go for lower stam like that. Right, so assuming like you just grab any mid-race random usage, like, but obviously like getting the stamina one is fine. The stamina white spark is good. The thing is, like, she comes with a 3.5% recovery with it, and this is a 2000 meter. I mean, sure, you can get like, I don't know, Swing Maestro if you're worried that like there's a lot of debuffers. I can type English names, that's fine. Just pretend that you're only grabbing 3 or 4 here. But yeah, like this activates at a pretty decent time for it. And then you can go for like, actually I don't know what's stronger, pace or late version of this. I'd assume it's pace, because I think it's going to be front runner heavy. Going pace into maybe like grabbing shooting for victory for the rest of it. Summer Marzensky getting her ult from 777s would be kind of too late. Fighting for first, yes, it's too late. If for some reason you can maintain first place and you wanted speed carryover, then it's fine. But yeah, like 777s here is pretty late in terms of using the full effect of Kiss for Victory for mid-race. Am I going to make an end closer after Skull Stroll? Christmas Ogre parent? I kind of have that. I have 2 parents right now that, yes, I have it somewhat ready. Because I do think for the Arima Keenan, end closer Ogre is stronger. For when's the Arima Keenan? After this one? I don't know. I haven't fully thought about it. But I feel like end closer Christmas Ogre for this track, or for the Arima Keenan, is the strongest version of her. But I haven't done a full dive on that. Do I think Suzu Runaway Ace would be more viable since unrestrained will always proc at a good time. On a I more viable, I think, is hard to say. Because, like, with it being a medium track, like, people are at their top speed for longer. So even if you hit a really good unrestrained proc, it like it won't have as big of an effect as it did on the mile. So it's hard for me to say it's like more viable than not. If that makes sense, right? Because like the reason why I felt like Understrain was so good on the mile was because people had a hard time getting to their top speed on the mile. Because like outside of, like an instant furious speed or on your left, like it was really hard to, or I guess also like a Let's Pump Some Iron from actually measure Orion. It was really hard for other people to hit their acceleration, but I think on like a track like this, it's a little bit easier for people to naturally hit their top speed and be able to utilize that top speed to catch up to a runaway. I definitely think it's viable for a 2000. Like I think it's impossible for like the next CM, like the 3000 meter for runaway to win, but I think for this CM, for the 2000 meter, like it can win. What's my opinion on 3 versus 4 recoveries on Christmas Ogre if you only care about winning the A finals? It depends on how much weight you can get. I would grab 4. I would grab 4 recoveries if you were like... Honestly, I'd probably be grabbing 4 recoveries. I think only in the third scenario can you really gamble on 3. I don't know. It's hard. I haven't fully theory crafted what I'm gonna do for Christmas Ogre, since she's still a month away. But yeah, like obviously hitting 777s is the gold recovery not required. Well, the idea is that you have to hit 3 of these, right? Which is 4.5, and then her ult comes with 3.5. So as long as like I don't think you're winning if you're not activating Christmas Ogre's ultimate, and at that point it's a 7.5 recovery skill, or not 7.5 recovery skill, but it's 7.5% recovery, right? Because three whites is 4.5% plus the 3.5% from her unique. So generally, no, the gold one isn't required. You just have to build enough stam to live off of 7.5%. Which I think is like, I mean, it depends on how popular Nice Nature is, obviously. She procs ult early as a mid leg race skill. Yeah, that is the worry, right? It's 8%? Yes. Yes, I did my math wrong. It's 8%. Yeah, hope like I'd assume 8% is enough. I mean, you'd have to play around with the stam. Maybe 700 stam is too low for only 8% recovery. But 8% is pretty strong. What do I think about running the Pasa card for killer tunes on this for like speed carryover? I mean, if you own it, I wouldn't use your borrow slot for it, but I guess I don't see why not if you own it. I mean, like if you don't have anything else, right, for killer tunes, you might hit max limit break on it. I mean, it's a 0.35 mid race skill as long as you're 5th or higher. Like, it's a mid race skill. Up tempo is not that bad. Yeah, 777 is obviously the ideal proc of this. Where's corner I actually don't know where corner recovery triggers here. Yeah, unfortunately can't use Adrenaline Rush. Or not Adrenaline, Extra Tank as your recovery skill. What about Tachyon skill? Tachyon skill activates when you're 4th or 3rd and you're on a corner, right? 4th or 3rd on a corner. I think it's hard to... I mean, the earliest it can activate is 950 meters, and then you have to push into 4th, essentially. I guess it depends on a build. But her conditions is anytime after... Here it would be actually, no, it would be 1,000 meters, right? Because it has to be after 50%. So 1,000 meters, afterwards you have to be 3rd or 4th. Yeah. Sorry, it's not 950, it'd be 1,000. So 1,000 to 1475, anytime you're in 3rd or 4th, it would proc. I don't know what position I would run Ogre in for the medium. Because it'd be 777s. Would they only be in grandparents? No, I think one of them would be the main parent. I think I'm only inheriting Shooting for Victory for Christmas Ogre. As in terms of like Excel. Like I think it's End Ogre. I don't think End Ogre is good. I don't think end closes in general are good on a 2,000 meter. Yeah, Ogre of course for some reason has not decent, yeah. Like she has decent with Super Creek and Tachyon and Taiki Shuttle. I think Ogre just in general has like somewhat decent. It's like 18 plus, no matter what. I don't know. I haven't done my full theory craft for this. All right, I do think I'm going to end my stream here because I'm a little tired from yapping for an hour. But yeah, that should be everything for next month. I don't think I missed anything. No. I'd only inherit one of them. You'd only inherit one of them. Christmas Ogre has... Christmas Ogre has 777s and corner recovery. I guess she also has a small breather. But she has Hydrate, she has 777s, and then... Oh, I guess she doesn't have corner recovery. I thought she had corner recovery. But she has Hydrate and 777s, which is 2. And then I would inherit one more. And then if I wanted to, I mean, I think this is a terrible skill to gamble on, but once it turns into the mid-race version, then it's fine to run it as late. End closer, it only works if you can get a good after-school stroll. And there's like, you can run it on end closer. You can run her as end closer in the Arima Keenan because the downhill is a little bit before the final leg. I'm slowly losing my voice. How over is it for people with that Christmas injury? Pray that they miss recovery skills. Pray that they miss 2 recovery skills that they're running for. That is, but I think she's still hard to build. Not hard to build. You kind of just like... There's like a little bit of theory crafting, and then it's just a checklist, and then pray that she hits her recovery skills. Because I think you have to have like a lot of wit, so you have to have good wit cards. Like even I don't even know if I can make a good one for the 2,000 meter. I think I have to give up some power for wit. How hard is it to build Christmas? Oh, it's easier. I would say Christmas Ogre is easier than a front runner. But Christmas Ogre just has such a high ceiling because there's so much that you can go for that makes her that much stronger. But I don't think she's harder than a front runner. I do think she does kind of want her own like unique tree, which is not that much harder. I think Ogre also just has really good well, just everything. Like Ogre's secret events are good. And her the eating the gluttony ones are really good for more energy. She also has Charming in one of her costume events, which can hit early, which is nice. Obviously, it has to be random. Kind of wish it was Fast Learner instead. I wish our costume event was Fast Learner, but Charming is also good. Dodging Prudent isn't like you would really want it because it's really hard for a front runner to win without it. But obviously, like in the actual CM, it's only like at the very top that I would say those two are mandatory. But yeah, front run is definitely harder to build. But I think it's just because like we don't have the time to set up legacies, right? And then because we don't have the time to set up legacies, people are stuck building front runners with 3 borrows instead of like the actual sweaty thing in general is to just glue runs at the first inspiration, which I think is really hard to do in the current like with the acceleration we have and like how close together all the CMs are. Not being able to set up your parents just feels really rough. Anyways, thank you guys all for watching. I don't think the video is going to come out tonight because I forgot to record and now I have to download this entire stream. But thank you guys all for watching. Bye bye.